Welcome to Wildlife Outdoors with your host, Russell and Jose. If you have a passion for conservation of the outdoors, or you're enjoying a calming hike in the mountains, an exhilarating kayak trip on the river, feeling a fish on the end of your line, cooking on an open flame in a primitive campsite, or stalking big game, just waiting for the perfect shot, you're in the right place. So put on your boots and polarized sunglasses and come along for the ride.
Welcome back to another episode of Wildlife Outdoors with Jose and Russell. So we didn't have an episode last week, with the holidays and stuff like that. I went with my girlfriend's family out of town, and I believe Jose was back home with his family out of town. So we apologize again for not having another episode last week. It seems like we're going bi-weekly now. Hopefully that'll change soon. But yeah, we just been busy.
I think we had a good excuse, as did everybody. I mean, it was the holidays, man. So
exactly, man. And people probably weren't listening to podcasts on holidays anyway.
Unless they're traveling, which, safe travels there. Well,
right.
I guess hopefully everybody has safe travels, and hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Speaking of
I
which,
hope everybody did as well.
Speaking of which, how was yours? How'd you end up spending it?
It was pretty good. Man, we went out to Ruth's family's house and spent Wednesday to Sunday there. It was pretty good. I mean, I'm not used to the whole family thing, so it's kind of an adjustment for me going and doing, walking trails of lights and having a big, family dinner and stuff like that.
Did you do a turkey trot?
No.
Ah.
So, but we did a whole bunch of, we sat around, we went shopping. Luckily the girls went and did their Black Friday shopping. And that's a girls only event for them because I despise shopping. So it kind of worked out in my favor. I gave Peyton some money and she went out with the girls and, enjoyed spending time with the women. So that was cool. I stayed back with Adeline, and the men of her family. So, it's pretty cool. We, threw the football around, watched a little bit of college football, just kind of did the basic family Thanksgiving thing, which I'm starting to get accustomed to. So it was pretty nice. How about yours? What'd you do?
Man. Well, before I get into that, you remember when we used to go spend Black Friday at Cabela's?
Dude, I loved it.
Dude,
that is one Black Friday shopping I enjoy.
Dude, that was that one. Remember that one year was so freaking cold. We had to alternate going, like one would keep her spots and then one would go in the truck and sleep for an hour because it was freaking freezing.
Yeah. And it was like 20-something degrees.
And to our listeners, so the main reason that we did this is because I don't know if they still do it. I haven't done Black Friday shopping in years, probably since then. But Cabela's used to do this thing where if you were like X, within the first, X amount of people in line, I think it was like first 100 or 200, can't remember.
Yeah.
They would hand out little envelopes, and you would open it and it would have a prize inside. It could be like, X% off or, $5 off or whatever the case was. There was a
rifle.
Yeah, there was a select few that had like a free rifle. I can't remember what the grand prize was, but they had various prizes and stuff like that. So Russell and I would go and we would just wait in line just in hopes of getting an envelope that had something awesome like that. And I think the best that we did was, I think I ended up winning a free pair of hiking boots or something like that I ended up giving to a friend because I didn't hike at the time. And so I was like, I don't need this shit. So I just ended up giving it to somebody. But yeah, so we did that. There was one year, Russell, where you bought like a rifle, a shotgun, and a bow or something like that. You went hard.
Yeah. I bought a Browning BPS 12 gauge, and I bought a Vortex scope for my rifle that I already had. I had a 300 Win Mag, a Browning A-Bolt 3, and then I bought a bow, a diamond bow, all in 1 year. So yeah, I kind of went a little stupid.
That you still have the diamond, right?
I still have the bow. I still have the shotgun. I ended up selling that Browning A-Bolt 3 300 Win Mag and buying a Browning A-Bolt 3 270.
Nice.
So yeah, it kind of worked out. I just didn't, at the time, I didn't ever plan on doing any hunts out west or, going to Colorado for elk or going and getting mule deer. So a 300 Win Mag wasn't necessary for Central Texas whitetail.
Yeah.
So, and I knew somebody that happened to want a 300 Win Mag, so I sold it to him, and then with what he gave me for that, I was able to go buy a 270, the same gun. So, kind of worked out.
Yeah.
And I still have that 270.
Dude, have you taken it hunting?
I have not, dude. So I don't think I've actually ever taken it hunting.
When was the last time that you and I went hunting? Oh, sorry, not that you. I don't think you and I have ever gone hunting. But when was the last time that we went to that Black Friday event when you bought that? That was like almost 8 years ago now, something like that.
Dude, that was in 2015. That was right after I bought my house.
That was 8 years ago. Holy
so it was 8 years ago. Yeah, we shot it a few times at the gun range out there in Lockhart.
I remember
but
that.
I've never taken it hunting. Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
So
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's the last time I shot it. I ended up getting that shoulder reconstruction, and I was, to be honest, just scared to shoot a rifle. I've shot it since, but I haven't taken it hunting. I shot a shotgun for the first time in like 7-8 years this past dove season. So I'm comfortable with my shoulder now, but there for a while I was definitely shy because of just the trauma. I mean, I'd had 2 shoulder surgeries, and it was just, to be honest, I was just scared. But now I know I'm good, especially after playing football last year and then, going hunting earlier this year. So I'm good now. I'm going to get out there. But yeah, hopefully I'll be taking that 270 out soon.
Nice. Yeah, man. You got to christen that thing.
I need to, man.
I can't believe it's been that long. That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't either. When I pulled out my bow a couple months ago, I was like, when's the last time I used this damn thing? And I went back and I was trying to look for pictures because I used to, take pictures of my archery block. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't shot it since 2015. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I failed there for almost a decade. But
man,
now I'm getting back.
Life happens, dude. You had a lot happen in those 8 years. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, it's been nuts.
Yeah.
It has been nuts.
Damn.
So
good times. Yeah. But aside from not Black Friday shopping, I didn't do any Black Friday shopping. I just I went home. So the week before Thanksgiving, I was out in the field. I've been in the field every week pretty much since like September. And my advisor was like, hey, I would really like for you to finish before Thanksgiving, which that was a goal of mine too. But we usually take weekends off just so we can kind of rest and do laundry and all that stuff. And also I had some personal things coming up that I needed to take care of too. So I didn't know if we would actually be able to finish by Thanksgiving, but we were able to. We finished like that Monday, I think. So came back home Tuesday, went back to back to my hometown. And I just hung out with family, man. Got to rest a little bit, hang out with family, enjoyed some turkey, ham, all the good stuff. It was also my birthday that actually Thanksgiving Day, so got to celebrate that a little bit. Went to my girlfriend's aunt's for Thanksgiving for that evening. Saw the Cowboys just destroy, and which was nice. And then Friday watched the Longhorns destroy too, which was also nice.
Dude,
dude, oh man. And I know you and I talked a little bit about the game before we hopped on the podcast, but dude, they looked so good. Well, let me rephrase. They did look good the entire game, but specifically that second half, they were just they were going all out. It was awesome. And then Arch Manning got a little play time, which is really, really cool. That kid's got a gun. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for the future of Longhorn football, assuming he doesn't transfer, which I'm hoping he doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. But so yeah, man. And then next year we're playing the Ags, which is where I currently go to school at A&M.
I'm so excited for that.
Oh, dude. So I know it's kind of, I guess, blasphemy. I go to A&M, but that's we're not gonna talk about that. I go to A&M, okay, but I grew up a Longhorn fan. Like you can't take that out of me. It is what it is. I'm sorry, Ag fans. If it makes you feel any better, I root for them in the SEC, okay. But I'm also low key kind of happy when they lose sometimes.
That's also going to change next year. So
yeah. Next year, once UT goes in that conference, I'm just A&M by circumstance. It is what it is. But my heart belongs to UT, so I'm pretty pumped about that, man. It's going to be freaking sick.
It's at Kyle Field, isn't it?
I think so. I thought about getting. Dude, I thought about trying and waiting and trying to get student tickets because I'm a student, right? So I should be able to. But I was thinking about it. I was like, it'd be really hard to contain my emotions and not cheer for UT. And I don't want to start anything, so maybe I'll just watch it from home.
Well, what if I come? Then it'll be 2 of us rooting for the Longhorns. And I mean, it's not that bad. Hell, I was on campus on.
You wore a Longhorn something to a concert. You almost got into several fights. We're going to be at a stadium full of people So it's not going to be good.
It was fun though. I mean, I was wearing my Longhorn shirt on game day. Alabama was there playing in College Station, and I happened to go to a concert that was at Wolfpan Creek Amphitheater, and I was wearing my Longhorn gear because Longhorns were playing that day. And I mean, I only had a few beers thrown at me. I only got cussed out like maybe 50 times. Like, it's not that bad, but and I was on campus.
You get to go back to Arkansas. I got to stay here, dude.
Right.
You get to
Hey,
leave
well,
the
maybe
state.
we could just
I
throw a
can't.
block party. Throw a block party in College Station, rooting for the Longhorns.
Dude, we'll just have like we can go tailgate, dude.
Dude,
There can
that
be
would be
Longhorn
fun.
tailgaters. Let's do
Yeah,
that. I'm down to do that.
we should.
Bro,
We
let's
should.
plan it. Let's do
All
it.
right, bet.
I'm down for
We'll
that.
do it.
But yeah, man. So I'm pretty stoked about Longhorn football. I'm stoked to finally have gotten some rest and spend time with some family and friends and everything. I actually got back into College Station today, mainly for this podcast, actually, because all my recording stuff was here. But didn't have any time to fish. Unfortunately, it didn't bring any matai and stuff, so did nothing really outdoorsy. But I do know I don't know. Let me check. I think they stocked the guad already, if I'm not mistaken. If they haven't, by the time you're listening to this podcast, there's a good chance it's already been stocked. Don't know for sure, but the
That
guad
would be
should
awesome.
be. Yes, and also I haven't really been very active on social media at all, so I don't really know what's going on. Usually I see a bunch of posts of people catching fish in the guad, but I'm pretty sure that there's fish in the guad right now.
They recently
Spec-
stocked here at the dam, so it's definitely coming up soon
nice.
if it already hasn't happened for y'all.
Yeah. So if any of you Texas fishermen want to try and go catch some trout on the Dramalupe, they should be there. Just yeah, man. Oh, if you do catch any fish and you heard you listen to this podcast, dude, tag us. Tag us in it. We'd love to share your photos. We'd love to comment. We'd love to just see what you guys are catching. Maybe we can meet you guys, do some fishing ourselves there. Who knows? But just
Yep.
tag us. We'd love to see it. But
We do. And we do
yeah,
like to
man.
do a
So
catch of the week. So if you catch something interesting, something big, something small, something
yes.
funny, we do catches of the week. So and that's not just for fishing as well. I mean, it's for hunting. So if you guys harvest something, yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's something fairly new that we're trying to do, just to like get more engagement and stuff, and also show some appreciation to our listeners. But catch of the week, like Russell said, it's not just about fish. It's about send us pics of your hunts, whatever you guys are hunting, ducks, deer, elk, whatever. It don't matter. We just want to see it. Show you guys some love. It'd be awesome. But that's pretty much my Thanksgiving week. Yeah, pretty much, man. Nothing too crazy. Just ate some food, watched some football, hung out with some family, friends. Good old time.
Sounds like a good time, man.
For
Oh,
sure, dude.
football, man.
I know.
These next couple weeks are gonna be interesting, man. Because have you seen the playoff rankings?
No, I haven't. But I was just gonna ask you, do you think there's any chance you can make it?
Yeah, there's a chance for sure. In a perfect world, so the rankings came out. Which I still don't understand this. Georgia is still ranked number one. Georgia
Really?
halfway struggled with Georgia Tech. Michigan beat the number 2 team, and they moved up to number 2. Georgia's still number 1. In my opinion, Michigan should be number 1. Georgia should be number 2, but that's neither here nor there. So right now it's Michigan, and I'll go down to where Texas is ranked. So it's number 1 Georgia, number 2 Michigan, number 3 Washington, I believe, 4 Florida State, 5 Oregon, I think, and then it's 6 Ohio State, 7 Texas. I was hoping Ohio State was going to drop below Texas, which would have been nice.
I would have
If
thought that after Texas game they would have moved up a little bit, especially
right,
after like at least one spot, especially after Ohio State, lost to Michigan. But
yeah,
and Alabama sorry, not Alabama's not even they're ranked behind us.
yeah, they're right
And
behind
that's
us.
that's the other like crappy thing too. Like if Bama beats Georgia, they're likely going to jump to the number 1 spot.
Yeah, which is weird
But
to me because we won the head
because
to head.
UT beat them, yeah,
Yeah, we beat Alabama, so I feel like it's one of those things where head to head, if it's the last spot, for instance, if Alabama beats Georgia and they take Georgia all the way out of the top 4, then it would be the winner of the Washington Oregon game, Michigan, and then which I'm pretty sure Michigan's going to beat Iowa. If for some reason they don't, then they would fall out, but I'm pretty sure they're going to. And then it would be the Florida State and Texas and or Georgia and or Bama. So I think if Bama beats Georgia, Georgia should fall out of the rank. Being that they would not be the SEC champs. Even though they're a one-loss team, you can't put a one-loss non-conference champ in over one-loss conference champs. So I think it would be between Bama and Texas, which SEC champs, if Texas wins, Texas champs. That's if Bama beats Georgia, and then Big 12 champs. So then it would be SEC champs, Big 12 champs, and then you would have your Pac-12 champs, which would either be Oregon or Washington. And then if Florida State beats Louisville without their starting quarterback, then they would be the ACC champs, and those would be the 4. But then you got the Big 10, so it would be 5 1-loss. Or no, Michigan would be in because they haven't lost. So it would be 4 1-loss and then 1 no-loss. Wait, no, Florida State hasn't lost either. So so it'd be Michigan and Florida State. Unless Florida State loses, then there would be 4 beneath conference champs, 1-loss teams, and then Michigan would most likely be number 1. So it would be tough to see who got the head nod, which in my opinion, Texas should, because they beat Bama, and it would be the head-to-head. But
I'm not trying to sound biased, even though I am a UT fan, but I think if Georgia were to lose Bama, I think UT would deserve at least maybe the last spot in the top 4 or whatever, because they beat Bama. But I don't know, man. That's one reason why I can't wait for the college football playoffs, to be expanded to more than just 4 teams, because there's so many teams that are deserving to be in the playoffs right now. Not just Texas.
Exactly.
I think for sure Oregon and Washington's top 4, right? So they're there. But I think Oregon deserves a spot.
Washington, Ohio State.
Yeah. Ohio State, even though they lost Michigan, they deserve a spot.
Bama.
They deserve a spot. Yeah. So, I mean, after the second, they really, really showed up in the second half of the season. So I think, and it sucks, dude. I have a feeling that I wouldn't, let me rephrase. I wouldn't be surprised that Bama beats Georgia and UT misses their opportunity to make the top 4 in the play, to be in the playoffs this year. I just wouldn't be surprised.
What do you think would happen if Florida State loses, right? So that would leave, if Georgia wins, Michigan wins, Florida State loses, they would drop out. We have Washington and Oregon both ahead of us. Do you think one of those teams would drop out and we could move in?
I don't think so.
I don't know. You think about it, the number 3 team beat the number 2 team, the number 2 team dropped to number 6.
That's true.
If the number 5 team beats the number 3 team, do you think that the number 5 team would move to 3rd, Texas would move to 4th if Florida State loses, which would drop them out? Because they would be losing to a Louisville team that lost to Kentucky the week before
that's true.
the ACC championship, and unranked Kentucky at that. So they were 10, lost to unranked Kentucky. So they're the way that I see it is Florida State doesn't have a starting quarterback, which that was a gruesome injury. That was a gruesome injury.
So I haven't even seen the injury, but Florida. All I know is Florida State was they were legitimate championship contenders with the starting quarterback. They looked so good, and then they lost him, obviously. So I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this week. Unfortunately,
I mean, they pulled it off against Florida. Florida was looking good until the end.
That's
Florida
true.
State came out in the 4th quarter and won it. But Louisville, I think, is going to be pissed because they were ranked number 10 and they lost to unranked Kentucky. So I think they're coming out with a vengeance, and they have a lot
chip
more
on their shoulder.
Yeah, they have a lot more hatred coming into this game. But Florida State has a lot more to play for. So it's kind of I hate to say it. I hate to see a team fall out because they lose, their starting quarterback. But I'm hopeful that if Florida State loses, and then if Oregon beats Washington, that no matter what happens with the Bama Georgia, I think Texas might get that number 4 spot, which means that we would either play Georgia or we would play Michigan, depending on what happens with the Bama Georgia game. And both of those would be extremely tough. I would much rather get the number 3 spot than the 4 spot, because the 4 spot, you're playing the number 1 seed, which is going to be tough. But, I mean, hell, if we make it to the playoff, I'll be happy.
That's true. Yeah, man. It would just be awesome to see UT in the top 4. Yeah. It'd be great. But there's a lot of stuff that has to happen in order for that to happen. Exactly. So I mean, who knows, dude? I really don't. All I know is this weekend college football is going to be insane.
It will.
Besides, Oregon beating Washington and potentially that influencing UT's place in the playoffs, or placing in the playoffs or not. I like Oregon as a team. I've always been an Oregon fan.
With their 476 uniforms.
Dude, but they have the best uniforms, dude.
Dude, they are pretty
They
cool.
have they're fucking dope, man. I love you. I like Oregon a lot, so I would have pulled for them anyways. Yeah. Do you want to list like who are you going for in these games?
Okay, so for the SEC, I want Bama to take it for multiple reasons. It heightens the chance that we make it to the playoff. Secondary to that, it gives more weight to our win over them at home. So I want Bama to beat Georgia. I want Louisville to beat Florida State once again, just for the opportunity of Texas to make it to the playoff. I am almost positive Michigan's just gonna, do what they want with Iowa. Michigan's offense has been kind of struggling; it's been sputtering. But I don't think Iowa's played a defense like Michigan's top tier defense, and I think that their offense isn't going to be on the field enough in the game. Their defense is going to wear down come second half. Michigan's going to get it going. Granted, they did lose their, I think it was their right guard with a tib fib compound fracture this past week, and I wasn't able to see the injury, but they wouldn't show it on TV, so it had to be pretty gruesome. And which I feel for the guy, man. He came back for his senior year. He was possibly a first round pick as a junior, decided to come back because he said he had unfinished business, and then that happens against against Ohio State. So I feel for the guy, but I think Michigan's going to do what they want with Iowa. So I think Michigan's going to take that one. Oregon, Washington, I'm pulling for Oregon in that one. But that game really could go either way, honestly. And then that brings it to Texas versus Oklahoma State. Obviously, I want Texas to win that one. Oklahoma State's been a sleeper team, man. The past 10 years, it's been Oklahoma State and Kansas State have been sleeper teams. They beat who they shouldn't beat, and they don't beat who they should. Proof last year, Kansas State beat TCU in the Big 12 championship. Somehow TCU still got the nod due to other people losing that week. And so they went, played against Michigan and then completely flopped in the championship. But yeah, so I'm kind of I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried about the Oklahoma State game. Mainly because I'm just used to getting my hopes crushed from the Longhorns the past 10, 15 years. But I'm hopeful. If Texas comes to play like they did last week, I think it'll be good. So of course I'm pulling for Texas in that one, and then that pretty much rounds out the top 8. And so, what do you think?
All right, for Georgia and Alabama. If personally, I like Georgia. I like watching them play. I'm a fan of Georgia, but given the circumstances, I'm pulling for Bama to win. I don't know, man. I feel like there's a chance because like the second part of the season, Bama's been looking really, really good, and with this much on the line, I feel like they do have something to kind of prove. So I wouldn't be surprised if they upset Georgia, but I don't see that happening. But regardless, I'm pulling for Bama in this game, which normally under other circumstances I'd be going for Georgia. But for this game, this year, I'm pulling for Bama. Michigan, Iowa. Yeah, there's no chance, dude. Michigan's mopping the floor with them, I think. Michigan's been really, really looking really good. And also I do like Michigan, but I just don't think Iowa is at the level of competition that Michigan's at. Michigan's just dominating right now. So I'm pulling for Michigan. Let's see here. Florida State, Louisville. I'm pulling for Louisville. I would really like to see that upset, and it's very plausible now that Florida State's starting quarterback unfortunately got injured and is out of the question. It's certainly possible. Florida State did hang with Florida, and so they still have a fighting chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Louisville pulls the upset, and I'm pulling for them to lose or to pull the upset. So we'll see what happens there. And then Oregon, Washington. I like Oregon. Like I said before, I like Oregon. I'm a fan of Oregon. Besides their ability to influence whether or not UT makes the Final Four, to make the playoff, I would have pulled for them anyway. But with this much on the line, I'm really pulling for them. I really want Oregon to win. And then let's see, who's next? It'd be UT and Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Obviously, the UT King. And it's kind of funny because I actually, like, of the Oklahoma teams, I like Oklahoma State. Also, it's kind of funny because we kind of collaborate with them a lot here at A&M, at least for our projects. I've got to meet and get to know some of the people from OSU, and so I kind of like to pull for them whenever they're not playing UT.
Nice.
But this game, hey man, sorry, gloves are coming off. I'm going for UT. We're gonna hopefully mother forward with you guys. But kind of like you said, dude, like I don't know why, but I feel like UT historically has often struggled with Kansas State and OSU.
Yeah.
And I mean this year with Kansas State, we were mopping the floor with them first half, second half. Dude, we should have lost that game. And if we're being honest, if we're being honest, UT should have lost that game. Like they got away super, super lucky. If we see that version of UT, there's a very good chance we may not pull the dub on this week against OSU.
Yeah.
But if we get the version of UT that played last week against Texas Tech, then I think we'll be okay. Because it's been so weird, man. Because like you and I were talking earlier, the first half of UT football for a lot of the season, the last few games specifically, we played lights out first half. And then second half, we just fall apart. We just get destroyed. We almost lose. That's how we lost to OU. Like we were dominating first half. Second half, we can't get our shit together. OU makes some great second half adjustments, and they just come back and they handed UT the loss for that game. And it came to the last the last drive of the game. They made the plays where it counted. UT couldn't. So hats off to them. All that stuff. But I think if UT can actually get, and then last week it was the opposite. Last week they got going in the second half. They put up a ton of points. I think it was like 47 unanswered points or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
The UT put up something insane. So if we can get that version, or if we can get a version of UT that plays like a complete game first and second half, then I think more would be dangerous. I think OSU would have a lot to look out for. So we'll see. It all depends on what version of UT we get on that day, and because OSU's have been playing pretty good this season. So it just really depends. If we can play a complete game, first half, second half, I think we should on paper have that game in the bag. But who knows? So we'll see.
Yeah, dude, I think Texas, has a good chance, but if they don't come ready to play, I think they'll be an upset. And speaking of upsets, did you see that freaking Alabama game was almost an upset?
Dude, yeah, I was really surprised.
Dude, I was pulling for Auburn because if Auburn beat Bama and then Bama came back and won the SEC because they already had their bid to the SEC championship, if Bama lost to Auburn and then came back and beat Georgia, like Texas would most likely be in. So I was like, damn it. And they should have had that game. If they would have not dropped that damn punt, then the game would have been over. They would have ran out the clock. But no, they dropped the punt. Bama got the punt back. And there she goes. But
dude, Auburn and Alabama games are always like interesting. You remember that what was it? It was like the field goal at the very end of the game. I forget what year that was. And Auburn just ran that shit back all the way. Dude, that was insane.
Dude, those rivalry games are freaking nuts, man.
I don't know what it is about. They just come to play. It's just different, man. Different atmosphere, chip on shoulders, stuff to prove. It's crazy. It's so much fun. So entertaining.
Right. That's why I was pulling for Florida. Playing in the swamp, I expected Florida to win that game, but
I know.
They didn't. So, but yeah, man, I love me some college football.
Dude, speaking of losing teams, I was hoping that OSU would lose.
Yeah,
that we could play.
So we could have a rematch with OU. Yep, and they almost did. BYU almost beat them.
I know, man. I know. But yeah, I was hoping for a redemption game. That didn't happen.
No, but I mean, at least we're getting to play OSU this year because we didn't play them this year in the regular season. So
that's true.
To be kind of. Speaking of which, so did you hear that the Big Ten is going to start doing what the Big 12 does now? That they're not going to have divisions.
Really?
Yeah.
Did
So
not
it's
know that.
very likely that Michigan could play Ohio State 3 times in a year.
Dude, that would be nuts.
Yeah, because they would play them regular season. Then it's possible they would play them in the Big Ten championship, and it's also possible that they'll both make it to the 12-team playoff. So, dude, that would
That
be
is
nuts for
wild.
3 games like that. Yeah,
Wild. And those games are always intense.
they are.
Yeah.
But the way that it's set up now is stupid. I mean, if you're looking at it, you look at the division that they're in, you get Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, all in one division. And then you look at the other side, the best they have to offer this year is Iowa. Like, I feel like that's definitely heavily weighted. So I think it'll be good for the conference to actually not have it divisional like that, but it'll definitely be interesting.
For sure. Yeah, so, man. And Michigan, I think they were the first team to reach 1,000 wins in a season.
Yep, 1,000 wins.
Dude, that's
not in the season, obviously, but
sorry, not in the season. Yeah,
this season
but
they hit it.
This season, yes, they were the first team to hit 1,000 wins. That is insane.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Michigan
stuff, man.
Storied program. I do like Michigan too, but pretty wild. I think what I like is their helmets. They're so unique.
It's traditional. They're unique, and they haven't changed it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But that's crazy, man.
1,000 like wins. Notre Dame's golden helmets.
Oh man, I've been a fan of Notre Dame since watching Rudy.
Yeah, dude, I freaking love that movie.
Dude, that's such a good movie. What are your favorite football movies? Like if you had to rank your top three, we'll do that.
Okay, so Any Given Sunday is always a good one. Friday Night Lights is a good one. Rudy's a good one. I'm gonna have one here that most of our listeners probably have not seen, and I've actually showed it to you. Touchback with
that was pretty good.
God, what's his name? Is it Russell Crowe? No, it's not Russell Crowe. It's Russell's in his name, I think. But Kurt Russell. So Kurt Russell Brand. Yeah, right. No, Kurt Russell's the coach, aka mentor in that movie. I actually got it for 28 cents at Blockbuster when the one there at South First and Manchac closed in Austin. Actually, no. Was it right there by the H-E-B? Is it? Yeah, I think it was Manchac and South First, or maybe it was Manchac or South First and Slaughter. But there was a Blockbuster there, and when Blockbuster shut down, I got that movie for 28 cents, and I was like, "Oh, it's a football movie. I'll buy it." And dude, that's one of my favorite movies. So I guess if I had to list them, I'd probably put My All-American first. That movie is just a damn good movie. I tear up numerous times in that movie, and then I would probably put Rudy, just because of the work ethic. And I don't know how historically accurate it is to the actual events that happened, but for the movie itself, hard work, determination, undersized, underweighted, you're not the best player, not as skilled as the others, and still had an opportunity to go in, and he made the best of it. So just the storyline on that one's great. And then I would honestly probably put Touchback as my third favorite football movie.
Interesting. Touchback is good. I did watch it when you recommended it. It was really, really good. I liked it a lot. Solid lineup, man. Oh, geez, dude. If I had to rank my top three, gosh. I as much as I want to list My All-American as number one, and I think that one's not really well known. Because it's. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's recent, but I mean, it's like. What year did we go see that? Like 20? I can't remember.
Probably like 20. I
don't even think it's.
If I was in my house,
let me look.
Like 2016 or something like that. 2015.
Because I don't even think it's 10 years old yet. No, it came out in 2015, so 8 years ago. Okay, so fairly. I mean, I guess fairly recent. And I mean, I love that movie. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. It is about UT. So maybe that's why we're biased. But it is a good story. It's great. Really like the movie. But I think my all-time favorite football movie is Remember the Titans.
I
love that movie. Love that movie. Love the message. I mean, the soundtrack is great. The acting is great. Great story. I mean, I can't say anything bad about that movie. That's my all-time favorite movie. So that's going to be my number one.
Dude, what about
My
Varsity
number two.
Blues? I forgot about that movie too.
That was actually gonna be my number three. I like Varsity Blues a lot. It's kind of dumb, but it's like a stereotypical high school football movie, but it's good. I like that movie a lot. I actually watched it with my girlfriend, and she's not a sports fan at all. She kind of liked it, so but it's funny, it's good. I like it a lot too. So I think that might be my number three. For my number two, gosh, dude, I want to say it's Friday Night Lights. I might. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna redo my list. Number two is Friday Night Lights. Number three is probably My All American with Varsity Blues tailing like right behind it.
Mm-hmm. So honorable mention for me would probably be Greater. Have you seen
I
that one
haven't
yet?
seen it. That's what the Arkansas Razorback football player, right?
Brandon
I haven't seen
Bosworth.
it yet.
Yeah,
No, I haven't seen it.
it's a really good movie. Another one is Facing the Giants. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't think I have.
The Kendrick Brothers movie. It's a Christian movie. Has a really good message though. And there's one scene in particular where they make one of the guys. He kind of has. He doesn't have a really bad attitude. Kind of has a bad attitude. And the coach blindfolds him and tells him he has to bear crawl with another student on his back, and he has to make it like 20 yards or something like that. But he blindfolds him and says, "Keep going, keep going, keep going."
Oh, I've seen clips of that. I just never knew where it came from.
Yeah, dude, it's a movie called Facing the Giants. It's a good movie. You should watch
Gotcha.
it. It's the same. So the Kendrick brothers are the ones that did the movies Fireproof and Overcomer and stuff like that.
Dude, Fireproof is really, really good.
Yeah. So it's the same guys. So yeah, if you haven't seen Facing the Giants, man, you should watch it.
I'm gonna have to check that out. So I gave one honorable mention. That was Varsity Blues. I think for me, the next one would probably be. Oh, dude, it was. I had it, and it just went away. I can't remember what it is now. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves.
Dude, I freaking love that movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that was so good, man. That one's awesome. Dude, there's so many good. Yeah, there's so many good football movies, dude. Like The Longest Yard, obviously, and then you have the one with The Rock. What's it called? Gridiron Gang. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, Gridiron Gang.
That one was good. And then you have, was it The Little Giants, something like that with the little kids?
Yeah, the little kids.
You're mine,
Pom Pom. I like that movie too. Yeah, dude, there's so many good football movies out there.
There is, dude. There is. Okay, so we talked about football movies. What about sports movies in general?
Ooh, I like Mr. 3000, man. I've always liked Bernie Mac.
With Bernie Mac? Oh, dude, I haven't seen that movie forever. That was good.
What about that? What's The Rookie with Dennis Quaid?
Dude, yes, that movie is really
good.
One. I like that movie a lot. Oh, Sandlot, classic.
Oh, bro. Sandlot, yeah, you gotta love the Sandlot.
Dude, that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Have you ever seen the sequel?
I have. Not a big fan of it.
Really?
I think
I've never seen it.
It's okay. It's just, but it's also unfair, man. Like when you have like a really good movie, usually the sequels aren't. They're just not there. They don't compete. Right. They don't hold up. The only ones that I can say that do would probably be like the John Wick series.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious movies were okay, but then they went off the rails. Like they went fucking crazy. Like
Men in Black.
Men in Black, yeah. Those are good sequels.
I think my favorite. I haven't seen the new ones, but of the first three, I think because those are the ones I've seen. I think I put number 3 above number 1. I think I do 3, 1, 2
really?
in order of my favorite for those.
I haven't seen them in so long. I couldn't even tell you, but I just know that I did not. There's not a Men in Black movie I haven't seen that I didn't like. They were all like I enjoyed them all. Bad Boys with Will Smith and Trevor with Martin Lawrence. I was almost at Trevor Lawrence because we were talking about football. Martin Lawrence, yeah, dude, those movies are good. I like Bad Boys 2. I liked a lot. That was funny.
Same.
It was great.
Dude.
But yeah.
Dude, there are a few sequels out there that are pretty good. Shrek. I like this. I like Shrek too.
Yeah. Shrek's
a good sequel. Some sequels are just trash.
Yeah, but I mean, not to say that it wasn't bad. Maybe, and it's been. And to be fair, though, it's been a while, so maybe it's not fair of me to judge. But I just love the original Sandlot movie so much. So maybe that's something to it too. But dude, that's just one of my all time my favorite movies in general. I love the Sandlot. So good.
And it's weird because I've never been much of a movie watcher, but there's a few movies that are just paramount. Like I'm the kind of person where I don't remember much when I watch movies. I don't remember much when I read. I'm more of an audio visual type of person, so I
Mhm.
remember more in movies than I do when I read. Um, but if like I don't know, they just don't. Movies typically don't resonate with me. I don't remember much of the storylines or much of what happens, but there's a few movies that like I just remember everything about.
Yeah.
Billy Madison is one of them. We were watching it the other day and haven't
Oh, I
seen the
haven't
movie
seen
in
that one
forever.
forever.
And I'm sitting there quoting when he's in the bathtub talking about shampoo and conditioner. And I'm like, I haven't seen this movie in 15 years, but I still remember it. So there's some movies that are just ingrained. But yeah, dude, it's weird because, you know, all these movies I remember specific things about, but I'm really not a big movie person.
Dude, Adam Sandler has some really good movies,
He
actually.
does. He does.
Like the Billy Madison. There's which other one?
Happy
Yeah,
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Yeah, that one was. Dude, oh, man, I haven't seen that one forever. I like Happy Gilmore a lot. Obviously, Longest Yard. We just mentioned that he was really good in that
Yep.
one too. 51st Dates was a good one.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a real good one.
I
You know
like
what
that
movie
one.
of his that I really didn't like? Click.
Dude, I haven't seen that one forever, but I remember being really sad.
It I don't know. I think it was the ending that killed it for me. And it was sad, you know. And it kind of talks about the preoccupation in life and how you just wish you could fast forward certain things, but then it stays fast
Yeah.
forwarding those certain things. Like I guess it could hit the heartstrings. I think when I watched it, I was too young. Really wasn't thinking too much about that. I just got annoyed at the ending of it.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, it's a good movie, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler has a small part in it?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it's hilarious. So the storyline of it is Rob Schneider's like a criminal, and this high school preppy chick, him and her put an earring on from the same set of
Oh,
earrings, and they
okay.
swap places.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a part where they're in like the shop where the earrings are, and Adam Sandler has dreadlocks and stuff, and he's like playing the bongos. He's like a typical stoner guy, and they're looking at all these old artifacts, and he walks up and he's like, "A lot of people don't know this, but you could put your weed in there." It's just stupid. And then he's like playing bongos, and it's like this real intense scene. I think it's when she actually picks up the box of earrings, and he's playing the bongos real loud, and it just sounds like the music is building up for something to happen. And then the owner of the store is like, "Will you stop with the drums?" And he's like, "Oh, you can hear that?" And he's like playing them all loud. It's freaking
Dude,
hilarious.
one thing I appreciate about Adam Sandler is that he takes care of his friends, man. Like all his
Right.
buddies appear like in all the same movies that he does, in
Yeah.
one way, shape, or form. Whether they're like small cameos or they have like an actual part in it. I mean, it's pretty
Exactly.
badass, dude. It's pretty cool.
The grown-ups
Gotta
movies
have some.
are good.
They were pretty good. I did enjoy
Yeah.
those. Dude, what's his name? The bigger guy that came on my King of Queens and Paul
Kevin James?
Kevin James. Have you seen that one where he's like a teacher but turns MMA fighter to get money for the kids or whatever, the band program?
I don't
I
know.
can't remember what it's called.
Sounds
That was
familiar.
actually. Let me see if I can find the
Dude,
title
have
for
you
that
seen
movie.
he did the movie, the Saints movie, where he played not Sean McVay. Who was the Saints coach?
Ah,
Sean Payton?
Sean Payton, yes.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie where Kevin James plays Sean Payton?
Yes, actually, with
Dude,
like he becomes closer to his like estranged son, whatever,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Becomes
that
like
one
a
was a
little league
good
coach or
one.
something like that. Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that one was good. It's called "Here Comes the Boom." That one was good.
I don't think I've seen it. I've heard the song. I don't think I've seen the movie.
It's actually not bad, man. You should check it out. It's
I
yeah,
will.
he's essentially a teacher, and I think I might be getting the premise wrong, but like I think it's a band program. They're having trouble with funding or something like that, and so he tries to raise money for the band program by becoming like an MMA fighter. He kind of does it on the side. He ends up making it to like the championship or something, and everyone's like really invested, like they're cheering him on. It's kind of a feel good story, kind of
Uh-huh.
funny, but it's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
That kind of reminds me of what's that one movie with Tom Hardy and Nick Nolte? Warrior.
Oh, dude, that one was
Dude,
so good, dude.
that's a good movie. That's
Holy
a damn good
crap,
movie.
that was
And
awesome.
that's kind of sports
Yeah,
related, MMA.
yeah, it is. But
Yeah.
the other like MMA related movie I liked is Never Back Down.
Oh, dude, that's a
Dude,
good movie
that one
too.
That one was good too. I enjoyed that one a lot. After watching that one, I kind of wanted to get MMA, get in
Who's
MMA.
the MMA teacher? That was it. Idris Elba.
Yes,
Dude is a freaking beast.
Dude, that guy's man. He's been in some great movies. Blood Diamond.
Yeah,
Blood Diamond's so good. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Movie.
Yeah, it is really, really good.
Yeah.
Which other ones? He's been in a few, man. God, so many good movies. But anyways, we're getting off topic. We're supposed to be a walleye podcast. We're going down a movie wormhole. But dude, there's so many good ones.
Dude, speaking of movies and outdoors, like, dude, there's some good movies out there too that are, outdoors based.
I was about to say,
Mending the Line was the most recent one that I've seen that was really freaking good.
Which one?
Mending the Line.
Dude, I still haven't seen it.
You still haven't seen it?
No, I haven't. I need to.
I think you can stream it now. I think it's on a few platforms.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I've heard really, really good things. I haven't seen it. River runs through it, obviously.
Dude, I've never seen it. I need to watch it.
For real? I like it. I do like it. I think the book is better than the movies, but the movie's still really good. I really enjoy the movie.
I need to check that one out.
Kind of, sort of, not really outdoor related in the sense of like you're hunting or fishing or camping or anything like that, hiking. This is not related to that, but it's outdoorsy in the sense like it's happens. I mean, like in the wilderness is Into the Gray with Liam Neeson.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That
with
the wolves. Really, really good. Yeah, dude.
Dude, you know it's another outdoors related movie that it's a comedy Without a Paddle.
I haven't seen it, man.
Dude, you've never seen that movie? It's so funny.
I haven't.
It's really good. You know what it's about?
No, I don't.
So it's this group of friends, and I think they're looking for DB Cooper's treasure, if I'm not mistaken. And
who's DB Cooper?
So I don't remember the exact story, but apparently a guy had all this treasure and had jumped out of an airplane or something like that. His parachute failed, and he's somewhere in the wilderness and had this stash of treasures. And they believed in DB Cooper as children, and one of their best friends. It was a group of 4. One of their best friends had passed away, so they said in his honor they were going to go look for DB Cooper's treasure, and so they're going on this trip, and it's without a paddle because they're up shit creek without a paddle. Like everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and they end up stumbling into like this massive weed farm that's ran by these hillbillies that try to kill them. Like, it's
nice.
Dude, it's a hilarious movie. It's
I gotta watch that one. Another outdoor related movie that I was just, oh man, it was on tip of my tongue. What the hell was it called? Into the Wild.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That was pretty good. It's based on a true story, but it's kind of like this dude. He runs away. Well, not runs away, but he like leaves behind his normal life, and he wants to go like live in the wilderness. And I'm probably butchering like the overall premise of the movie, but that's essentially what it comes down to. Finds a bus in the wilderness of Alaska, I think, and he's just kind of like living out of it. And he's foraging. This shouldn't be like a spoiler or anything because this movie's been out for a while and the book has too. But he mixes up these 2 berries. One's toxic, one's not. He eats the toxic one. He ends up like dying alone in the wilderness. It's crazy.
Sucks.
Yeah, but I think it's based on true story. That one's pretty good.
I like those survival type movies.
Yeah. Have you seen what is it, 127 Hours, something like that, where that rock climber, the hiker, or whatever, gets his arm
cut his arm off?
Yeah, with a pocket knife.
Yeah,
dude,
that's a good movie. It's pretty
good.
Uneventful. Like, I mean, if you think about it, making a movie about a guy being stuck, obviously there's not too much going on. But for what it is, it's a damn good movie. Like, they did an amazing job for as little that can happen.
Yeah, agreed.
The story, they did a really good job.
It's kind of funny because I've never thought about it from that perspective, but well said. Yeah, for what it is, turning like an event that doesn't have like a whole lot to support it other than the event itself, they did a pretty good job of like kind of like dragging it out, whatever. But it was pretty good. That one was crazy. Could you imagine that, bro?
Dude.
That would. You got to have some stones to be able to cut your own arm off like that, with no pain, meds, nothing.
Pocket knife, dude, just like hacking away at it little by little.
Dude, that gives me the chills, bro. That sucks.
Yeah, it does not sound fun. But
and then what about it. He did.
True story.
He did do it.
So.
Yeah. What about Cocaine Bear?
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, it's so stupid, dude. It's loosely based on a true story. There was a bear that ingested cocaine, but it died. It
Yeah.
didn't kill anybody. It just
Yeah.
died.
Guy walked up on it and saw it, and he didn't know what it was, and then walked up and found this bear that was, high off its ass, not dead yet. And then I guess he told the authorities. Authorities show up and find cocaine from an airplane, and
Yeah, so this
the
is
bear. So
yeah, and I think they have that bear stuffed and in a museum somewhere.
yeah,
I can't
they
remember
do.
where
I don't
though.
remember where, but
Yeah,
they do.
it's crazy, man.
For some
And
reason,
so
I
yeah,
want to
so
say
this
Colorado.
something like that. So this is just like a very dramatic, not historically accurate reenactment of that whole thing. Like this bear just gets high on cocaine and goes on a killing spree. Pretty much, that's the premise of this. Is so stupid, but it's
That
funny.
would be nuts, though, dude.
Dude, could you imagine a supercharged grizzly bear
Yeah.
tearing people apart? This was a black bear, but do you remember? Like, imagine a freaking grizzly. That'd be insane.
Dude, that would suck.
Dude,
He'd be trying to
speaking
climb
so,
trees.
oh, dude, I know. There's a documentary. So there's a chef named Eduardo Garcia, if I'm not mistaken. He has like a line of spices and like rubs. Montana Mex, I think is what it's called. I actually have a few of them in my pantry right now. I really really like them. But he is really big into the outdoors and all that stuff. He had a documentary come out. So this guy, he actually lost an arm. He almost died because he actually came across a bear. Right? I think he was hunting, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been. He was doing something outdoors related. Came across this black bear, and it was a really nice black bear. And it was, I guess, it looked freshly dead, and he was going to get closer to check it out. But what he didn't realize was that there was like this barrel or something covering an exposed I can't even remember what it is, but like there's something that the barrel was covering. Essentially, that bear was shocked to death. That bear was electrocuted to death, and he didn't know that. So he goes over and he wanted to check out the bear, trying to get an idea of what happened, right? And I think he said he pulled out his knife and he was like getting ready to touch the bear, and it was still like the electricity, like that wire line was still active. So the charge jumped from the bear to his knife into his body, and it blew like a hole out of his head, blew like a hole out of his chest. I mean, dude, just like destroyed this guy. He should have died, but and he passed out. But when he came to, he knew that something was wrong, so he like hiked and until somebody found him, took him to the hospital. They're like, yeah, dude, I don't know how you live. So he had like this big hole in his chest and top of his head, like it was just insane. And so this dude lived, and he did end up losing an arm, and but he still cooks and everything. He's still very active in the outdoors. He actually did a pretty cool series with Yeti called My Hungry Life or something like that. Super super awesome series. He did one episode in South Texas where he did like a catch a cook with Van Zant. What's his name? JT Van Zant. Yeah, he went fishing with him, and they did they caught some fish and stuff. They did a catch a cook. It was really really cool. But yeah, man, that documentary. It's within the movie realm, but that documentary is really really good. If anybody wants to check it out, I can't remember what it's called though. But that one's
I'll
really
see if
good.
I can find it because I want to watch it now. But I'll see if I can find it and I'll put it in the description for sure. So. But speaking in hunting, man, didn't you say that you come across some jackwagon who was doing some poaching up in the Yukon?
Yes, dude. So I was actually the movie's called Charge for anybody who wants to see it. I just found it right now. But anyways, so I was over vacation. I came across a story of an influencer who goes by the moniker Mr. Adventure, who was accused of faking a Yukon residency and killing bears illegally. So this guy, his name is Tristan James Ham. He's facing 19 charges related to illegally hunting bears in Yukon. Yeah, this guy's 20 years old, a self-titled influencer, has amassed roughly 2 million followers on Instagram. The charges essentially allege that he illegally killed 2 black bears. And he's also been accused of illegally killing a grizzly bear. So apparently this guy faked residency in order to illegally harvest those animals. And he's, as far as I know, he's not been taken into custody, but I think he has to go to court in in January or something like that for these charges. And I think I read somewhere that some of these charges can fetch up or are as much as like $50,000 or something like
Holy
that.
hell.
Yeah, dude. Because the other thing that he's accused of is illegally, I guess, like moving some of the parts of these bears. I'm not sure if he sold them, but
Let's
he's
see.
yeah. Here to exporting the bear's remains, presumably the hides and skulls, outside of the country, for providing false and misleading information to obtain a Yukon resident hunting license. It's unclear at this time if he broke any additional laws when harvesting the 3 bears, but he's charged with potentially
Wow.
illegally harvesting 3 bears. Yeah, dude, freaking nuts. So again, this is all like allegedly. Nothing's been officially ruled or anything. I don't know if he's made any disclaimers or anything. I don't know if he's put any like press releases or anything like that out, but these are all just some allegations brought against him. So who knows what's going to happen? But I just saw that. I was like, damn, dude, that's freaking crazy, bro.
That's
And
nuts. Even though it's all
yeah,
allegedly, I think that warrants him to earn the award of the Jackwhacking of the Week. Like,
yes.
I mean, if you're
I mean,
exporting goods, like, if you're harvesting animals illegally, like, that's already a no-no. And then if you're
yeah,
doing stuff like shipping parts overseas or out of the country, like, come on, man, do better.
yeah, dude. So Jack Wagon of the week,
Ah,
crazy,
I don't
crazy, man.
understand it. I do not understand it. But so we've been kind of on, like the hunting, realm of stuff lately. So Jose actually had a damn good idea, like right when we hopped on the podcast. So we're gonna try something, and if y'all like it, let us know. If y'all don't, let us know. But he had an idea for us to do a Christmas like gift ideas for the outdoorsmen, and so this episode is going to be based on hunting. And so me and him have gone through, and we have gift ideas for the hunter in your life. So you want to go ahead and explain a little bit more?
Yes. Yeah, so essentially, I mean, Russell pretty much done it. And this, like he said, we literally talked about this right before we started this episode. So this list, or how we kind of structure, because with Christmas coming up, we thought it'd be cool to come up with like some holiday gift guides for people in the outdoors. So we're going to try and come up with categories this week, being hunting, and then we might do another week like fishing, and then another week like camping or just general outdoors, whatever. And so this week we're going to do hunting, and the structure may be a little bit different because we did do this kind of off the cuff. But we essentially, so we have the category this week being hunting, and then within that we have certain price ranges. So for this go around, we have gifts under $50, gifts under $100, gifts under $250, and then gifts less than 500, and then a gift over 500, to try and kind of cover different price ranges and stuff like that for the hunter and or huntress in your life, or just outdoors person in your life. But yeah, man, so that's kind of the general idea of this. So we might change it up in the upcoming weeks, just kind of depending. We just want to try and put this out this week, since this will, by the time you guys hear this episode, it would already be December. So we're recording this the 29th of November. It'll already be December by the time you guys hear this. So we want to try and get this out there before Christmas actually rolls around, to give people, some time to, hopefully, if anybody likes these ideas or anything, to give them time to find this stuff and purchase it for their for whoever they have in their life that likes this stuff. So with that being said, I think I think let's kick it off. So again, like we said, this week's category is going to be hunting. And the first category is gifts under $50. And we're going to try and give you guys like where we found this product and the price that we found it at. Prices may change between now and when you hear it, or now and Christmas, or now and when you purchase it. But this is, as of today, where we found it and how much. But all right, man, you wanna kick it off?
Yeah, man. So for the 50 and under category, I actually chose the Meat Eater Fish and Game cooking book. I see that there's 2 ways you can buy it. So you can either buy it like a typical, recipe book, how it's like in a spiral form. That is for around $33 on Amazon. But they're also having a sale right now where for $13.50 you can get the hardback copy of that book. Normally it runs about $35. So It's, more than half off if you want to go ahead and get the hardback on it. So, but yeah, that's my gift under $50 of the Meat Eater Fish and Game Cookbook.
Nice, dude. And I've actually been eyeing that for myself. It looks pretty freaking awesome. If you have someone who likes to hunt or fish and who also likes to cook, I mean, that's got to be perfect. And so for under $50 is actually the Estwing Sportsman's Hatchet. So it's a leather gripped hatchet. I actually have this for myself. I bought it for myself. I found it at Academy. I think you can find it on Amazon. You can find it for around $45-ish. $45-ish. It's all steel, full tang. It's a great little hatchet. I've taken it camping. I actually use it around the house. Like we have a little fire pit that we like to kind of hang out and, hang out by the fire. And I use it to split the wood here. It's a great little axe and a great little hatchet rather. So if you have someone who likes to hunt, who likes to, go camping while they're hunting or whatever the case may be, this is a handy, hatchets are so handy. This is a great little tool. And as long as you take care of it, it'll friggin' last forever. Awesome little hatchet.
Dude, hatchets are awesome. You can use them for all sorts of stuff, and there's numerous ways you can use them. You can use them to shave wood to get kindling. You can use it to chop. You can use it as a hammer. So
exactly.
Versatile. And lightweight and easy to pack.
Yeah, and you can even use it to when you're cleaning an animal to split bone or whatever the case may be. It's just a super handy little tool. And like I said, if as long as you take care of it, it'll last forever. He can pass it down to his grandkids, whatever. So, pretty cool little tool. I have one, love it. But yeah, just want to throw that out there. The leather grip one is super sick.
So what's your 100 and under gift?
Oh man, 100 and under, dude. That one was, oddly enough, it was kind of funny, man. Like, at least for me, I don't know about you, dude, but it's like the more or the bigger the budget was, I felt like it was harder for me to narrow it down because that opens up more. The window to more things. So I was really trying to figure out what a hunter could really use. If I was getting ready to hunt and I was loading up my pack, what I would like to have. And what came to mind was a good headlamp. Because a lot of times you're going to your blind early or you're leaving late. Sometimes you're cleaning the animal. If you happen to get one while you're out in the woods still, whatever, maybe you need a headlamp, while you're around the campfire or something like that. So for my $100 and under pick, I picked a headlamp, specifically the Black Diamond Storm headlamp. So they have a rechargeable version for $75 and a non-rechargeable version for $65. I have an older version. I really, really like it. I believe they're waterproof up to, I can't remember how long or how deep, but they have a lot of really, really good features. Really great little headlamp, super, super bright. And I think personally for me, if I were to pick between the two, I think I would go with the non-rechargeable one because you can always carry batteries just in case, your batteries go bad or they die or whatever. You can always carry extra batteries. With the rechargeable one, you have to bring a power bank. And if you forget the power bank or if your power bank dies or it gets damaged or whatever, then you're kind of SOL. So I would probably, if it were for me, prefer the non-rechargeable version. But yeah, that's my pick. A good headlamp, can't go wrong. That's something that I myself would probably throw in my pack too.
I freaking love those rechargeable headlamps. Mine is not a Black Diamond. I actually have two of them. And I always have solar power banks with me. I always take two if I'm going to go outing anywhere, for multiple reasons. And I always have, a few cords. That way I can charge phones or any other type of device that I need, in case something were to happen, I can, try to get help. So I always have two solar power banks. So I ended up going the rechargeable route for my headlamps. And dude, I freaking love them.
So let me go over. All right. The non-rechargeable version is actually the Storm 450 headlamp. Retails for $59.95 at the Black Diamond website. Comes in various colors. Some of the details is powered by 3 AAA batteries, 450 lumens max output, IP67 waterproof tested, so at least 1 meter underwater for 30 minutes. It has power tap technology, so it allows instant transitioning between full and dim power, which is a feature that I really like. My headlamp has that feature, and it's freaking awesome. I love it. brightness memory, so you can turn the light on or off at the chosen brightness without having to like quick click through the different settings. And then I believe, I don't know if this one is, but the one before it was like dimmable, so you can just hold the power button and then you can like dim it down and all that stuff. That's pretty awesome. They have different modes. So you have dimming mode, strobe mode. You have red, green, and blue night vision, and then you can lock it, which is my favorite feature. So you can actually lock this, so that way if you have it in your pec and it's bumping around in there, it's not going to accidentally turn on and then have the battery drain on you.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I really, really, really like about these headlamps. The rechargeable version. So you have the 400R rechargeable and the 500R. The 500 being the most expensive. The 500R means that it has a 500 lumen output. The 400 that has 400, but essentially has all the same things. Just one is rechargeable and has more lumens than the other, and one is not. But yeah, solid gifts, both on the all three options under $100. So definitely worth checking out.
Those things are freaking awesome. The one that I have is not Black Diamond, but it's a 350 lumen output.
Yep.
It also has dimmable option. It has an SOS option. It has a strobe option, and it also has the red night vision. And that red night vision is awesome for if you're like a photographer trying to get some nighttime photography and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so that's what I was using it for, trying to get some pictures of the Milky Way when we were at the Cossatot. So yeah, I really like mine.
Yeah, I know a lot of hunters like to use that while they're going through the woods because it's supposed to not spook wildlife as easily. I don't know how true that is, but that's just in my understanding. But this one has, red, green, or blue, whatever you prefer. Also, I should say, like, we're not sponsored at all by any of these things. These are just things that we found that either we have used and really liked or think that you might, use and like. So we're not sponsored by any of this. I'm not sponsored by Black Diamond, though. If you want to, Black Diamond, we would love to have you. But yeah, I've been using their products for the last couple of years now, and I love them all. Like I think all my headlamps are Black Diamond, and they're freaking awesome. Love them all.
Nice.
But anyways, so that's my pick for the $100 and under category.
Awesome. Good pick. Mine is actually a heated vest. So,
Nice.
for the hunter, most hunting seasons are going to be during cold seasons, whether you're deer hunting, you're duck hunting, or, you're going up north or out west and trying to get on some big game. Typically, most of the seasons are going to be, during colder seasons, even if you're down south. So, a heated vest will keep your core warm, and those are all typically around the $75 to $100 range. Around this time of year, you can always find sales, and I've seen them as low as close to $50, $55 before. A lot of them come with a battery pack, or you can find some cheaper ones that don't have battery packs. Even the ones that don't come with battery packs, if you have your own battery pack, for instance, I have a few solar ones like I was mentioning earlier, and they have multiple outputs. So you can also have a phone charger, you can charge headlamps, you can also be running your heated vest at the same time and stuff like that. So, it's a great gift for anybody that's going to be outdoors during the colder seasons or hunting or fishing or anything like that. So it'll keep your core warm. They have, different lines. So you can actually get like cheaper polyester or nylon ones. They actually have fleece lined ones and all sorts of different materials for your comfort level. And they're under $100. So me personally, I feel like it's a great gift for anybody that's going to be recreating outdoors in the colder seasons.
Nice. I've never had a heated vest, but dude, I can only imagine how nice that would be. Sitting in the duck blind, your deer stand, whatever, when it's freaking freezing and you can just feel that little warm hug around your torso. Oh, dude. There's been a few times in my life where I've been hunting where I wish I would have had a heated something.
Yeah.
Or heated socks. Oh, dude, that'd be the best. I hate when my legs get cold. It sucks.
Same. My hands I don't mind my hands getting cold, and you can find hand warmers everywhere, but it's hard to find foot warmers or heated socks.
They do have those I can't remember what the company name is, but they have like those heated things for your feet. Mm-hmm. I don't like doing that because I don't like how they feel in my boot.
Same.
So I don't use them, but I wish I could. I wish it didn't bother me because I hate having cold feet and wet feet. That sucks. But yeah, man, heated vest, that's super, super solid.
So I wonder if my wading boots, I have half size bigger because I wear 4mm neoprene socks with them or booties on my my waders. So I wonder if I could just not wear neoprene socks in my wading boots and throw a boot warmer, foot warmer at the end of it. I wonder if I'd have enough room for that.
Should try it.
I might have to this season.
Should try.
Next time I go down to the Little Mo, I know I'm gonna fall in because I always fall in. But next time I go, I might have to do that.
You gotta stop doing that, man. That's not good.
Dude, hey, last time I went, I did not fall. That's the first time I've made it out of the Little Mo without falling in. So it was pretty good.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. I might have to try that next time, or maybe even just throw hand warmers in the end of my boot.
That could work too. Hand warmers are solid, and those are good. Like hand warmers, they're super cheap. Those we didn't put those in our list, but they're good, like stocking stuffer. You can get those
for sure
at a pretty inexpensive price comparatively to the other things on our list. Exactly. We should have had a stocking stuffer category. Dang it.
We should have. Let's just do it on next the
fly. Time. Okay, yeah. So stocking stuffer category, this would be in that for sure.
Absolutely.
Super inexpensive, but super handy. Can't go wrong with some hand and foot warmers.
Yep.
Nice pick, dude. I dig it. I like it.
All right. So I guess we'll go on up, getting a little more expensive to the $250 and under category. So for that one, I have a solar cell cam. So if you're, if you have a hunter in the family and they have a piece of property that they want to keep an eye on, and, sometimes you don't want to go out there. The only time that you may have to go out there if you're not planning a hunt might not be in a time of day where you want to go and spook wildlife. You can just view it, remotely. And so they have cell cams. Obviously, there's game cameras. Then they got cell cams, and then there's solar cell cams. And so they have rechargeable battery ones, and they have solar ones. And I put the solar one on my list because even with the solar cam, which is a little bit more expensive, and the camera itself retails for, depending on which brand you go with, between $120 and $170. And then you just have to pay a monthly fee for the actual cell on it, which can range from $10, $15, $20. So even if you were to get a mid-range or even a higher priced one, you could still probably pay for a year of service and have the solar cell cam all for around the $250 price range. So anybody that actually has property, has a lease or anything like that, they want to keep an eye on and can do it remotely from your phone, I feel like a solar cell cam would be the way to go.
Absolutely. Also, this is $250, right? So if you're on public lands or lands where someone could probably take your camera, they have locks that you can like steel cables that you can have for these. Probably a good idea to throw that in there as well,
right?
Just so that we don't steal your stuff, because I know that's the thing that happens. I see it all the time on these public land forums I'm on, or not forums, but pages I follow on Facebook and stuff. So not a bad little, I guess, stocking stuffer to throw in as well.
Yep, little lock for the game camera.
Yeah, dude. Actually, those cell cameras. So we actually use some of those for our research. They're pretty damn cool, man. They're pretty awesome. You get them real time. You can see what's out there. It's pretty awesome, dude. Those things are sweet.
Dude, I love seeing John Martin's footage from his cell cam. Dude, he's had some nice bucks on his cam this year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I saw one the other day that somebody caught a still. It was a regular game camera, but they caught a still of a bobcat attacking a turkey.
Dude, that's so sick, man.
And so the turkey was like mid-frame flying off, and then you see the bobcat claws out behind it, pouncing at it.
Dude, I like, sometimes I'll come across these things like on Instagram, whatever, where they have like, I guess like funny or like rare things, to capture on trail camera. Some of those things are insane, man. Some of the shots that you can get, some freaking hilarious, and some just outright like amazing. It's pretty cool. Just a quick little Google search, it's pretty cool what these things can pick up. And imagine if you have a cell camera, this thing go right to your phone. You can put it right up to Instagram or Facebook if that's your thing. It's pretty neat.
That's freaking awesome. So what's your 250 and under?
Okay. So for my 250 and under, this one, well, depending on what you get, one comes at $125. The other one is right at $250. That doesn't account for tax. So with taxes, at least in the state of Texas, you're going to be paying right around $280-ish, something like that. Is the Yeti Loadout Go Box. So I'm just going to come out and say it. I am not totally sold on Yeti products. I do have some Yeti products. I do have some of their some of their not thermoses, but they're like some of the drinkware. I'm just going to say that. Some of their drinkware, I do really like them. But now they have so many companies coming out with similar things for not as expensive. So it's becoming harder and harder to justify their some of their products. But these Go boxes, I think, are pretty damn good. So they have the Yeti Go Box 30, which comes in at $250. I actually have one that I use for hauling like camping stuff, hunting stuff. I throw in my fishing stuff in there a lot. Like when I'm going on trips, I'll throw in like reels, my fly boxes. I'll throw in all kinds of stuff. Um, I'll throw in my fly tying stuff if I'm gonna go. Like we have some fly tie nights here in town. If I'm gonna be, or if I'm going like on an extended trip, like I think I brought it when I went up to Arkansas with you, Russell. If I'm going on an extended trip and I don't know what I'm gonna be tying, I throw in my stuff there because it can hold a lot. But it's pretty dope. They're waterproof. The latches are super secure. So if you like to bring like camera gear or anything of value that you don't want to get wet or messed up, like I don't know, in the bottom of the boat or on the back of your ATV, or whatever the case, this thing will keep it pretty safe. What else? If you like throwing, if you like camp cooking and stuff like that, this would be a really good kit to put in your cooking stuff, your seasonings, plates, knives, whatever else, to keep them from getting like I guess taken over by raccoons or whatever, stolen by raccoons, all that stuff. I don't know if they're bear proof. Not sure about that. I know Yeti's thing is like they're bear proof, whatever. Don't know if it's bear proof, but regardless, I think these things are pretty cool. And if you have an outdoors person in your life, whether like fishing, hunting, camping, whatever, I think they'll find plenty of ways to use these Yeti Go boxes. They have the 30 at 250 and then the 15, which is essentially like half the size, for 125. And then actually, I went to the Yeti website. They are actually having a special right now where if you spend $200 or more, you can receive 2 free Yonder 750 milliliter water bottles with Yonder chug caps. The offer is valid only on Yeti.com or Yeti retail stores between 11/23/2023, 5 a.m. to or through 12/31/23. So you guys have until so you guys have a while, but pretty dope. They have a whole like FAQ thing on their website if you have any questions about that. But yeah, I just saw that was available. But pretty awesome, man. Super cool. I really enjoy mine, and I think anybody who likes spending time outdoors will enjoy theirs as well.
That's awesome. I think that's a damn good pick. And obviously there's numerous sizes, so it may even be kind of getting a little bit closer to the price range prior that we spoke of. So that's a pretty damn good gift idea. I mean, I'd always take my camera everywhere, and so I'm always in need of waterproofing, whatever it is that I'm taking. So lately it's been using Remote Designs bags and stuff like that, roll tops and the waterproof backpack, but those are all soft. So it might not be a bad idea for me to look at a Yeti Go box and have something a little more rigid that's also waterproof.
For sure.
So the next category is going to be 500 and under. So what do you got in that one?
Oh man. So this one was like, dude, what direction you want to go? Crossbows, bows, guns. Mm-hmm. But due to legality reasons and all that stuff, we don't know where our listeners are. I just didn't think that'd be very good. So everybody could use good optics when you're hunting, right? Or even if you like going birding or whatever the case may be, scouting, whatever. So for my under $500 pick, I have the Vortex Diamondback HD spotting scope. They have 2 models, the 16 to 48 by 65 millimeter, which retails for around $400, and then the 20 to 60 by 85 millimeter, which retails for right at $499 or $500. So right at the cusp. But I mean, everybody can use a good spotting scope. And actually, I don't currently have one, but I want to get one in the future. And I'm actually looking at one of these 2 models specifically because at some point in my life, I do want to go out west, and a good spotting scope will come in handy when you're out scouting or whatever the case may be. And or even if you're down at the range and you're wanting to sight in your guns, make sure you're good to go for the season. Spotting scopes are indispensable. Like they're super handy. And then they also have like, if you like wildlife photography, although it's not really like a substitute for a good quality like lens and camera, but they do have like those phone scope attachments. You can put these on and take photos with your cell phone and all that stuff, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. And it's also just good for like if you want to keep tabs on certain animals throughout the years and kind of watch their progress and things like that. If you like birding, if you're a birder and you like to bird at long distances, I know when I was taking my ornithology class, I had I think one of the professors brought a nice spotting scope, but I think theirs was a Swarovski. I
Yeah,
can't pronounce that name.
Swarovski.
Yeah, and but it was super nice spotting scope. But yeah, so spotting scopes can be used for so much, and I figured it'd be a great thing to have for a hunter in this particular price category. And then one thing I like about Vortex is their warranty. It's just like no questions asked, pretty much. Like they'll replace it. They have probably one of, if not the best warranty in the business, and that's largely the reason why I went with them in particular or why I go to them in particular for my personal optics. I have
Yeah.
some binoculars, and I really like them. I use them for field work and stuff like that. They're super good. And then they have different configurations. Like you have the straight version, and then you have the angled version. They're both going to be good for different situations. It just kind of depends on your personal use. So I would just recommend to do your own research, the kind of hunting and or scouting that you do, maybe your own, like, I guess, health things that you got going on, and see, because if you have like neck issues or back issues, then one may or may not be better than the other. I'll just kind of take those things into consideration. But super great optics, lifetime warranty. Their lifetime warranty Vortex, if you have a, no matter what the cause is, they will take care of you, is what they say. And but yeah, so that would be my pick for the under $500 category.
Nice. I freaking love Vortex optics. I think I had, I think a previous scope that I had, I think I had a loophole, and I liked it.
Yeah,
But it just seems like the quality of the Vortex to me, it feels a little bit heavier, which I mean, you don't always want weight, especially if you're going to be,
yeah,
having optics on a gun or something like that. But it just feels a little bit more durable. The quality of it was just, and I may have even had a lower end loophole and a higher end Vortex. I'm not 100% sure. I was still new into optics at that time, but when I got the Vortex one, I was like, dude, this thing is freaking awesome. And I mean, it's super clear. So I love the
yeah.
Vortex that I have on my rifle right now.
Yeah, and Loophole's super solid too. I like
Mhm.
Loophole a lot. I mean, for the last few years, I've been using Vortex, and not that I'm brand loyal necessarily, because I'm not afraid to try different things and see what works best for me. It just so happens that I've never had any issues with the Vortex products. Like
Yeah.
they're usually like my go-to, and if they work for me, if I like the way they look, the way they feel, then I'll go with them. And I'm not gonna lie, it's predominantly because of that great warranty. But nowadays, I think there's many optic companies that offer the same warranty. I think they more or less all do lifetime warranty now. I think Vortex was probably the one to kind of go that route first, or make it more popular. But I've heard great things about people who've had to use, or I've read great things from people who've had to use their warranty program, and they've had stellar experiences with them. And I mean, a great company, great optics at a great price. Can't complain.
That's awesome. Yeah. So for my $500 and under category, I have a specific gun safe, mainly because it's on sale right now at Academy. So, as of the time of recording this episode, it is a Sport Afield 30 gun e-safe, and that normally retails for $799. And right now they're having a sale at Academy Sports and Outdoors, that it is now $499. So with tax, it would be above that
Nice.
500, but it's right around that range. And I mean, hell, $300 off of a safe, that's crazy. And it's a 30 gun safe. So, good safe, has an e-lock on it. I think it's a great option for if you're looking in that $500 price range, even, slightly a little bit over, but I think it's a great deal for what it is. So, for anybody that's, a hunter or huntress that's looking for a way to, keep their guns safe, keep them out of the hands of kids in the house, and Stop
Yes.
them from being burglarized or whatever the case that you think you need a safe for. It's great for a lot of things, and I think that's a great option. And so you can actually go to academysportsandoutdoors.com and actually find that deal. It's online and in store, so go check it out.
Yeah, man. I have a very inexpensive safe from Academy. Um, Personally, I would love to have one that's a bit stouter, a bit more burglar proof, if you will. Because this one, I mean, essentially it's just a locker, right? Like it's light.
Right.
They could just, if they wanted to, they could just take it. Like they don't even need the key. They could just grab it, put it under their arm, and walk away with it. I could probably put some weights in there, or whatever. But it's a cheap safe. My main thing is just keeping my guns and stuff away from people who shouldn't be using them or having access
Right.
to them and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, a good safe, regardless if you hunt or shoot or not, like you can use it for storing important documents, important like personal items that are of importance to you. Whatever the case may be, like Russell said, whatever you think you would use and use or need a safe for, that's a stellar price. $300 off, dude. You can't beat that.
Yeah, and for a good quality one, it's a little more heavy duty.
Yeah.
And I've actually heard of people taking their safes if they have a heavy duty safe like that they'll actually drill into the concrete in their back closet or whatever the case may be, and put redhead bolts in there and anchor it down and bolt it in from the inside of the safe, so that thing ain't going anywhere.
That's pretty smart.
I think it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
Solid pick, dude. Solid pick.
yes, sir.
What about for your
So
500 plus?
500 plus is something that people that process their own meat is actually going to absolutely love. So there's a company called Meat Your Maker, and meat is all capital with an exclamation and then your maker. And they have all sorts of game processing materials. They have spices, seasonings, they have kits for, if you're wanting to make a jerky, or if you're wanting to make a sausage, or if you're wanting to, butcher it up a certain way. They have everything that you need. So I would recommend going to their website personally. Like Jose said, we're not sponsored by any of these companies, but I actually found them through a YouTube channel, and I don't even remember which one it was, but if I can remember and figure it out, I'll leave a link in the description. But they use their Meat Your Maker grinder. And so the one that I'm recommending is a 1.5 horsepower grinder. And the reason I'm choosing this one is it is over the $500 price point. I think it's about $699 is what it's running right now. But for a lot of people that make ground meat or want to make sausage, or want to process their meat into ground meat and then actually put it in a jerky gun and make Slim Jim style strips, it's kind of cumbersome to go and grind your meat numerous times. And so this grinder here has the 4.5 and the 10 grinding plates in it, but you can actually run them both at the same time. So you can run through your meat and run it all in one pass, and it just be ready to go automatically to, go ahead and make some sausage, make some jerky, whatever the case may be. You can mix in your seasonings with it, cut it in 1-inch cubes. It can process 14 to 18 pounds per minute. So if you're doing any type of large game, elk, bison, cow, deer, you can just fly through it once you get it butchered, cube it up, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, throw your seasonings, and run it all in one pass. Absolutely amazing. So once I get my setup, once I'm out of an apartment and actually get, because I plan on having a processing shed where it's not going to be just processing, but that's where, I'll do all sorts of different things, and I'll, have storage in there and whatnot for my outdoors related activities. I do want to have a processing area in there, and I definitely am planning on getting on one of these because I love me some deer sausage and I love me some jerky. So being able to do it all in one pass would be amazing. So that's my plan on getting one of those. But if you have somebody that wants to process their own meat or already does and wants a little upgrade, I would recommend the Meat Your Maker 1.5 horsepower grinder.
Dude, nice. I don't hunt enough to be able to justify the cost of a grinder or whatever, but one of my goals, like once I'm in a place in life where hopefully I get to hunt more, and if I can become consistent enough to bring home some meat, I want to be able to process my own meat, man. I think that'd be awesome. It's like it would really truly complete that process. But not only that, I think if having a meat grinder, like you can process your own meat at home. Like you can buy big slabs of meat, process it yourself. You can save some money there. I think you have a little more control over the product, the quality of the product. At the end, you can get it exactly how you want it for your needs. So whether you're a hunter or not, I think having that would be super sick. And I know personally for me, like that's something I want. I want to be able to process my own meat, do everything from start to finish myself. But so I think that's a stellar idea, man. Solid pick.
Thank you. What you got for your 500 plus?
Oh man, for my 500 plus, I have a pellet smoker or pellet grill.
Dude, I almost put one of those on there for mine.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people kind of shit on pellet grills because like, oh, you're not a real man. You know, we use hardwood, whatever, oak, mesquite, all that stuff, which is great. That's cool. If I had the time to do that, then that'd be great too. But I'm not. I just want to cook it and eat it like that. I'm not doing competitions. I whatever. You know, one thing that's nice about the pellet grills is that I've never used one personally, but everyone that I've talked to, they always say the same thing. It's just nice because you can kind of control the temperature you want. You have more control of everything. You can kind of set it, forget it. You can put the meat out there. You can go watch the game. You can hang out with your family. You can do whatever you want to do. Come back, check the meat, whatever. Some of them have Bluetooth features or Wi-Fi features or whatever, so you can monitor everything from your phone. So you don't have to do. I mean, you can just go out there when you need to, pull the meat out, or if you need to, fill the hopper with some more pellets, you can. And they're just super handy, super versatile. And it's something that I personally would love to have. Everything from doing briskets for, family cookouts to turkey on Thanksgiving to wild game, whatever. And that's also the nice thing. Like wild game is so lean. It's super easy to overcook it if you're not careful. Not to say that you can't do it with this. You certainly can, but having more control over like the temperature and stuff like that certainly helps in being able to properly cook the game that you've harvested. So I think a pellet grill would be on the top of my list probably. And also I just love to cook, and it's something I can do year round. So I know I would get my money out of it, but my money's worth out of it. But specifically what I'm looking at is the Green Mountain Grills Ledge. It retails for $8.99. It is Wi-Fi capable. It has 458 square inches of cooking surface.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking sick. It's got a digital controller. It's got an auger system, Wi-Fi smart control. It can hold up to 18 pounds of pellets. Really cool little grill. It retails for $8.99. My buddy Marco has a Green Mountain grill. I don't know if he has this exact one, but he has one, and it is awesome, man. We've had some. I bought some picanha one day, and we cooked it out at his place, and dude, it was so freaking good. It was awesome.
That's freaking awesome. Dude, I will say that, so I've never used one myself. My buddy Zach has one, and not this past Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving last year. Normally I prefer ham over turkey just because turkey is typically a lot drier. I like the flavor of the meat, but I've always kind of gone more towards ham. I like the flavor of ham better. I like the moisture of ham better. And I went over to my buddy Zach's house, and he has, I believe it's a Green Mountain pellet smoker, and he did the ham and turkey on there, and that turkey rivaled any ham that I've ever had. I mean, that turkey was moist, it was flavorful, it was cooked just right. The ham there was amazing too. I mean, it was just, I've never had turkey so moist, and the flavor was just phenomenal. And yeah, he's like, dude, I swear by these freaking pellet grills, these pellet smokers, like, and I'm a believer now. I don't have room for one, but if I did, I would most likely have one because that thing was freaking amazing, dude.
Yeah, man. My friend's dad has one. I think it's a Pit Boss one he picked up from Academy. And dude, everything that comes off that thing is so good. And what's cool about this one in particular, I mean, they all have like a wide range of temperatures, that you can really control it at. This one goes from 150 to 550. So if you like to cook steaks, you just want a quick sear, you can do that. If you want to do it low and slow, you can do that. You can probably make jerky on this thing. It'll be fine. You want to cook some fish, you can do that. Like this thing is just like and not just this one specifically, obviously, but a lot of these, you have a lot of control over the temperature range and what you can and can't do with it. It's freaking sick, man. I want one so bad. So bad.
Same. I definitely need to get one once I get out of this place.
I will say I have a little Weber kettle, and I love that thing. That thing is awesome. Like I Love cooking on that thing, and but my main thing with the charcoal is, and it could be my inexperience. I've seen guys on YouTube, they cook some stellar, like amazing stuff using one of those Weber kettles. I don't. Maybe I just haven't had the practice. I've tried doing bigger or like longer cooks on it, like with pork butts and all that stuff. But I've never been able to get the results from it that I want. And I know that's user error. I'm more than positive. Like I know 100% that it's my fault for sure. But I just feel like the nice thing that the pellet grill offers you over, traditional cooking methods like charcoal grills or like wood fire grills, whatever, is the temperature control. Like how fine you can fine tune it and everything. So if you want to cook a brisket at 225 pounds, you just set it, 225 pounds, 225 degrees, you can do that. Just set it, forget it, you're good to go. You don't have to play this guessing game of, do I need to add more wood, less wood, whatever. You just got to make sure you're hot. Assuming the grill's running as it should, and there's nothing off, whatever. You just got to make sure the hopper's filled, which is, I know it's cheating. It may seem lazy. I see it as efficient because I'm not trying to do any competitions. Like I want to watch football or I want to hang out with I want to hang out with people, whatever. But I also want to be able to cook some good stuff. So it'd be nice to be able to just do it, set it out there, forget it. I can just chill, maybe go check it out from time to time. But it's nice to know that I have that flexibility because I know like I have friends who use like just a regular wood smoker, and they have to go out there constantly. They're out there, and I know they love it. They hang out, they drink, whatever. It's like their time for. It's like it's just their time. They enjoy it, and that's all good and great. But I don't want to do that if I don't have to do that.
Right. See, I see it as not choosing one over the other. My dad has a firebox smoker that I think it's the Oklahoma Joe from years ago, back when they actually made good quality stuff. It's not that thin metal crap, and he's having it redone right now, and that's going to be mine once I get back into a house. And so I plan on having it, but on top of that, I want a flat top griddle. I want a pellet smoker. Like I want to have all these different tools at my disposal. If it's something going on, I want to spend time with the kids or be watching football, like the pellet smoker would probably be the way to go. But if it's something where we're all hanging out, playing yard games and stuff like that in the backyard, like I'd probably choose a hardwood, firebox smoker. Just because that flavor is hard to mimic in a pellet smoker, and I do love me some just slow and low, good old fashioned barbecue.
Oh
so,
yeah,
there's a time and place for it. If I'm trying to, cook a steak or maybe do some, hibachi, I'd definitely do that on a flat top. Or if I'm going to make a tomahawk, like, dude, I've always wanted to make a nice freaking tomahawk on a griddle. So, there would be a place for that. So I would want all these tools at my disposal, but a pellet smoker is definitely going to be one of them.
Yeah. Okay, well said. Well said. I haven't thought about it from that perspective, but yeah, man, that's a good idea. But yeah, I think that Green Mountain Grill rounds out my list. I know we literally just came up with this as we were doing this segment. The stocking stuffers we came up with, the
game camera lock and the hand warmers.
Game camera lock. Do you have anything else you throw in there for a stocking stuffer?
If somebody's already processing their own meat, maybe a kit with seasonings. There's all sorts of different things out there that, if you're making sausage, you want to add a little bit of flavor to. They make kits, and you can find them anywhere. Just look up, sausage seasoning kit for processing, and you can use it for sausage, you can use it for jerky and stuff like that. And they're, just like any other seasoning at the store, is going to be fairly inexpensive. That'd be a good, stocking stuffer for somebody that does process their own meat. So
nice. That's pretty solid. I was gonna throw seasonings in there too, but you beat me to it. I think one I would throw in is a knife, and specifically, there's this brand. I don't know how to pronounce it. I call it Opinel. It's Opinel. They're I think it's a French company, if I'm not mistaken. But they have these little knives. They're simple. They're extremely simple. They're just a wood handle with a steel blade. They have a really simple twist lock feature on them that can lock it closed or open. They're really inexpensive. I think you can find them for as little as like $15 at times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but they're one of my favorite knives, and to me, their beauty is their simplicity. Like there's elegance in that to me. Like they're not fancy. They're not a Benchmade or a Spyderco. They don't have like super great steel, but they're easy to sharpen. They're easy to maintain, and they're just really nice looking knives. And they can get really, really sharp if you sharpen them up enough. So they're a great little knife to give someone if like maybe it's the first knife. Maybe you have like a young kid, well, not young kid, but a good responsible kid who you think is responsible enough to handle a knife. This would be a good one because it's like I said, it's easy to maintain. There's not a whole lot of moving parts. It's nothing fancy, but get the job done. Cutting stuff, simple cutting tasks. Um, it'll because it's sharpened so easily. It's good to teach them how to maintain a blade, and so it's a good like first knife. But it's also just a good knife. Everybody, I grew up like I remember one of the earliest. Dude, my grandpa gave me a knife when I was like 5 years old. It was little Victorinox, I think. He told me every man needs a good knife. And I just had that ingrained in my head ever since. So I've always carried a knife. I feel naked if I don't have one. I've given a lot of knives away to people, to friends, those who don't have one, or those who I think would appreciate a good knife. I think knives in general are great gifts. And I think even if someone in your life has a bunch, I don't think you can ever have too much personally, because you can have one in your truck. You can keep
Right.
one, in your pack just to roll around there. And because these are so inexpensive, if it gets lost or broken, it's not that big of a deal. But, again, it's a beautiful knife. I think it's a great little gift. One of my favorite knives, one of my favorite brands, Opinel. And they come in different sizes, ranging from small to large, whatever, different blade shapes, different blade materials. They have a stainless steel one. They have a carbon steel one. Um, Whatever you think. And they come in different, like I think the one I have in my hand right now is a walnut handle one. They have different like limited edition ones if you want to get a little bit fancier, but like the plain Jane cheapest one you can get is like $15, I think. So just
That's
and I
awesome.
mean, and because of its size, it's literally a good stocking stuffer. But yeah, Open O knives, check them out. They're super. I mean, they're great little knives. I love them.
That's awesome. That's a damn good stocking stuffer. And I agree with that. Like, you can never have too many knives. I got knives in my personal truck, my work truck. I have a box in my closet that's full of knives. I have, some old staghorn handle knives. I have some old walnut knives. I have an old knife that I got from Mexico that it's a melon knife. So it's a real thin, it's a folding blade, but real thin, long blade that they use, on ranches and stuff for harvesting watermelons. I have some collectible knives, some case knives, some buck knives. I have all sorts of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. The knife that I carry with me right now is a SOG knife. You actually got me the first one of these that I've had. I think I have like
I
4 of them
remember that.
now. Yeah, the one that I
Yeah.
cut the hell out of myself with.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this one personally. It's not, I wouldn't say is a stocking stuffer because it is a pretty pricey knife. But I like it the most because it has a little lock on it that if you don't know what you're doing, you can't get it open. And, if it were to fall out of my pocket, I got kids. I don't want them to open it up. And these knives are extremely sharp. So definitely don't want this getting in somebody's hands that, could
Yeah.
do some damage to themselves or others with. So that's the main reason I carry this one. But I mean, I have probably over 20 knives. So you can never have
Yeah.
too many knives. You never know when you're going to need one.
Exactly. Do you have any other stocking stuffers? Ideas?
Mm, not that I could think of, not in the realm of hunting. Most things
Okay.
hunting related are going to be a little bit pricier and not a stocking stuffer.
So as we were talking about this, it just came to me in the same vein as knives. You need something to maintain it, a good like way to sharpen it.
Yeah.
In particular, I really like the work sharp stuff.
Hmm.
They have a few that you can that they have a guided field sharpener. It's small. It's I don't know. It'd be an expensive stocking stuffer at $40, but it's really small and compact, and you can. It's great to have in the box, or sorry, in the stocking. It's great to have in a hunting pack. That one's really really cool, and they have an even smaller one that's more affordable, but work sharp sharpeners are pretty damn handy. I have three of them. I think I have three different ones. I have one small one that I keep in my oh shit kit that I'll use to touch up my knives in the field. It works okay. Um, I have that guided one that I told you about. I've used that one before, or that I was just speaking about. I have that one. I've used it before in the field. That one works awesome. and then I have another one that I keep here at the house. It's a little bit bigger. That I use for touching up my knives and stuff here at home, my pocket knives and things, because it does a really, really good job of keeping those things pretty sharp. Yeah, let's work sharpeners, pretty dope.
That's a good stocking stuffer. That's one thing. Like I was right before you started, I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe a knife sharpener, and I was thinking about those little small, ceramic V-cut.
Yeah,
just real quick, sharpen your pocket knife if you need to. That'd be a good thing for your oh shit kit or for something out in the field. And those are fairly inexpensive. Those are $5-10 when you can find them on sale and stuff like that. And a little small, not much weight to carry around. They don't do as good, but
yeah. But dude, those things are handy. When I was conventional fishing a lot, like fishing at the pier and stuff, I would have a fillet knife on me all the time, either for like cutting up bait fish or filleting the fish afterwards. I always had one of those little ceramic sharpeners you're talking about in my pack, just for a quick touch up. Good to go.
yeah.
I mean, those things are pretty handy.
Especially if you're cleaning multiple fish and you're having to cut through some rib bones, it'll dull a fillet knife quick.
Yeah, you know what I just realized? This is going to be really hard not to recycle some of these for like the fishing episode.
Right, it will.
Or the fishing, not fishing episode, the fishing category.
We have a week to prep for this one at least, not
that's
5
true.
minutes.
That's true. But to be fair, like 5 minutes, man, I feel like we came up with a pretty solid list.
I think so too. Hopefully, we're helpful for anybody that's out there shopping for their hunter or huntress or their outdoors person in their family. So, feel free to go look at these. I plan on having these in the description, the links of our specific items. And, let us know if you have any questions or any other recommendations for our future episodes, for any other gift ideas for fisher people or, people that are just going to be outdoors hiking, camping, stuff like that. We'll probably have a category for those before Christmas comes around. So let us know. Yes, sir. So is there anything else you want to cover before we go ahead and close this episode out?
Oh, man. I know. It's so funny, dude. I said this was going to be a short episode. It was not a short episode. It never really is.
It never is. It never is. We're like,
I thought it would be, because like, what could we possibly have to talk about? Because we were both busy with Thanksgiving stuff, and we went down the football wormhole, then the movie wormhole, and so that ate up a lot of time. But hopefully you guys found that entertaining. I enjoy talking about it, dude. But the thing about Russell and I is we can talk about anything for forever. We were having I'm not going to say a drunken conversation, but we're having an intoxicated, conversation about dogs for 2 hours at a bar. Yep. And our poor buddy Matt was toasted, just chilling by himself.
And that's kind of how the idea of the podcast came along, though. Is every time we would hang out, we would end up in a multi-hour long conversation about absolutely nothing. And we're like, dude, we just need to have a podcast. We could talk about all sorts of stuff outdoor related. And we finally decided to do it. So, but I mean, that's basically what the podcast idea was formed around, was our ability to, for lack of a better term, bullshit for hours on random things.
So. Seriously, man. So funny. So appreciate you guys sticking it out if you made it this far. Hopefully if you decide to, or you find our gift ideas useful, if you have someone in your life who might appreciate these things. And if you happen, I know that's Christmas is a few weeks away now, but if you happen to purchase anything from this and they enjoy it, we would love to see it on Instagram. Feel free to tag us. Next week, we don't know the category yet. Either hunting, we already did hunting. Either fishing or like camping or hiking or something like that. So we'll announce it next week when we do it. We may or may not change up not the categories, but like the price brackets a little bit. I kind of liked how it turned out this go around.
I do too. But as we go into different categories, it might. I mean, price ranges.
We might have to.
Yeah.
So, we might have to.
But we'll see whenever that time comes around. We'll have to see what we can find over this next week, and then we have to tailor the price categories a little bit.
And I do think we need to have I do too. And I think we do need to have a stocking stuffer category. Sure. So maybe we can have, I don't know, 3 or 5 items each that we can incorporate for stocking stuffers. And we could probably set like a maximum, like no more than X amount for the stocking stuffer.
Yeah. Smaller price, smaller size. So Yes, sir. I like that idea for sure. So, but for those of y'all that have made it to the end, we appreciate y'all listening or watching because we are doing video on all these now. So we appreciate y'all, and we hope to hear from y'all, and share, like, tell everybody about us. We're trying to get the word of mouth out there. So if you have anybody you think that would like the podcast or just enjoys hearing things, hunting stories, fishing stories, ideas about the outdoors, just feel free to tell them about us. And we love to hear any feedback. So thank y'all for listening, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
This has been Wildlife Outdoors. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook at Wildlife Outdoors and on Instagram at wild.life.outdoors. Let's go live life on the wild side.